What does it mean when I say God is about to surprise you? It means that the power of your own imagination, which is God, is constantly working into your physical reality, that which you have impressed upon it through your assumptions and beliefs. And when these manifestations occur, they often come in ways so wonderful, so unexpected, that they can only be described as divine surprises. Many of you are waiting for miracles to happen to you, as though they were events orchestrated by some external deity. But I tell you this, the miracle worker dwells within you. The kingdom of God is within you, as scripture tells us. You do not need to look outside yourself for power or causation. The entire universe is contained within your consciousness. And by changing your conception of yourself, you change your world. Consider for a moment, have you ever had an experience where something you desired deeply suddenly manifested in your life in a way you could never have planned or anticipated? Perhaps it was an opportunity, a relationship, or a solution to a problem that appeared so perfectly timed, so exquisitely arranged that it seemed miraculous. This was not coincidence or luck. It was the law of assumption at work. It was God, your imagination, surprising you with the harvest of seeds you had planted through your dominant thoughts and feelings. The scripture tells us with God, all things are possible. Since God is your imagination, it follows that all things are possible to your imagination. There is no limit to what you can be, do, or have when you understand and apply this principle. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you are not dependent on external circumstances, on the economy, on other people, or anything outside of your own marvelous creative consciousness. Let me share with you a story from my own experience. Some years ago, I knew a man who was in dire financial circumstances. He had lost his business, was deeply in debt, and could see no way out of his situation. Conventional wisdom would suggest that his future was bleak. But this man discovered the principle I am sharing with you tonight. Instead of dwelling on his problems, he began to imagine himself as financially secure, debt-free, and living in abundance. He would fall asleep each night feeling the joy and gratitude of his imagined state. During his days, whenever doubts or fears arose, he would gently but firmly return to his assumption of wealth and security. He did not concern himself with how his circumstances would change. He simply persisted in his assumption. Within a few months, a series of events occurred that no one, least of all himself, could have predicted or planned. A business associate whom he had not seen in years contacted him with an opportunity. This led to a partnership, which in turn led to the creation of a new business venture that proved immensely successful. Not only was he able to clear his debts, but he found himself in a financial position far superior to anything he had known before. Did this man pray to an external God for deliverance? No. Did he struggle and strive, pushing against external circumstances? No, he simply changed his concept of himself, and in doing so changed his world. The God within him, his own wonderful human imagination, surprised him with miracles that transformed his life. This is what I mean when I say that God is about to surprise you with life-changing miracles. But these surprises can only come when you understand the law by which they operate. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your assumptions, whether conscious or unconscious, direct the course of your life. By deliberately choosing and maintaining assumptions that are consistent with your desires, you set in motion the forces that will transform those assumptions into physical fact. Now, I want to be very clear about something. When I speak of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, I am not talking about mere positive thinking or affirmations. This is something far deeper and more fundamental. I am talking about actually entering into the state of consciousness that would be yours if your desire were already realized. If you desire wealth, you must assume the feeling of wealth. How would you feel if you were already wealthy? What thoughts would occupy your mind? How would you carry yourself? What would your days be like? Enter fully into this state in your imagination and persist in it. This is the true meaning of faith, the faith that is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I have tried to imagine good things, and they haven't materialized. To you, I say this: examine your assumptions, not just your conscious assumptions, but the deeper assumptions that you may not even be aware of. For many people, their conscious desires are contradicted by unconscious assumptions of limitation, unworthiness, or impossibility. Remember the words of Scripture: let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Fear and doubt are the enemies of manifestation. They are negative assumptions that will bring about negative conditions, just as surely as positive assumptions will bring about positive conditions. This is why it is so important to guard the door of your mind, to be selective about what thoughts and feelings you entertain. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you require your participation. Guard your imagination. Creates only in accordance with your assumptions. If you assume failure, restriction, and impossibility, then these will be your experience. But if you assume success, freedom, and infinite possibility, then these will become your reality. Let me tell you about another individual I knew. This was a woman who had been diagnosed with a serious illness. The doctors had given her a poor prognosis, suggesting that she had perhaps a year to live. Now, most people in such a situation would resign themselves to their fate, seeing the medical verdict as final and unalterable. But this woman understood the principle that I am sharing with you tonight. Instead of accepting the diagnosis as a reality, she began to imagine herself as completely healthy. She would fall asleep each night feeling the sensations of vibrant health and energy. During her waking hours, she maintained an assumption of perfect well-being, regardless of any physical symptoms that might suggest otherwise. Her friends and family thought she was in denial, unable to face the reality of her condition. But she knew a deeper reality, the reality that external circumstances are simply reflections of internal states. She persisted in her assumption of health with unwavering faith. 6 months later, when she returned to her doctors for evaluation, they were astonished to find that the illness had gone into remission. Further tests showed no trace of the disease that had previously been so evident. The doctors called it a spontaneous remission, a medical anomaly that they couldn't explain. But the woman knew the truth. It was not an anomaly, it was the law of assumption at work. God, her own wonderful human imagination, had surprised her with the miracle of restored health. Now, I am not suggesting that you ignore medical advice or that every illness can be cured through imagination alone. The law works within the framework of nature. But I am saying that the power of your assumptions goes far beyond what conventional thinking recognizes. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you may well include transformations in your physical health, for with God all things are possible. Let us consider another aspect of this law. Many people believe that their lives are determined by their past, by their upbringing, their education, their previous successes or failures. They feel bound by their history, unable to break free from patterns established years or even decades ago. But I tell you this, your past has no power over you, except the power that you give it through your assumptions. Your past does not determine your future, your present assumptions do. You can revise your past in your imagination, thereby changing its influence on your present and future. This technique of revision is one of the most powerful tools available to you. Each night before you sleep, review the events of the day. If there were any events that were less than perfect, any interactions that were unpleasant, any circumstances that were challenging, revise them in your imagination. See them playing out differently, in a way that is satisfying and harmonious. Feel the relief and gratitude of this revised scenario as though it had actually happened that way. What you are doing through this practice is not merely engaging in fantasy or escapism. You are actually rewriting the influence of these events on your subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious does not distinguish between actual events and vividly imagined ones. By revising the events of your day, you are implanting new assumptions in your subconscious, assumptions that will bear fruit in your future experiences. The God within you, your own wonderful human imagination, will surprise you with the miraculous changes that come from this practice of revision. Relationships that were strained will mysteriously improve. Situations that seemed hopeless will resolve themselves in ways you could not have anticipated. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you include freedom from the limitations of your past, Now let us speak about another crucial aspect of the law, the importance of feeling. It is not enough to merely visualize or intellectually affirm what you desire. You must capture the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the prayer. When you pray, which is to say, when you imagine, feel as though your prayer has already been answered. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the relief, or whatever emotion would be appropriate if your desire were already a physical fact. These feelings are the creative force that impresses your assumption upon your subconscious mind. Think of it this way: your subconscious mind is the soil, and your assumptions clothed in feeling are the seeds. Just as a seed contains within itself all that is necessary to produce a full-grown plant, so does your assumption, properly planted and nourished, contain within itself all that is necessary to produce its physical equivalent. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you are already germinating in the soil of your subconscious mind. They are developing according to their own timetable in ways that your conscious mind may not comprehend. Your role is not to figure out how these miracles will come about, but to maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled until your assumption hardens into fact. Some of you may be wondering about the time factor. How long, you ask, will it take for my assumption to become a reality? When will these life-changing miracles arrive? The answer is, it takes as long as it takes for your assumption to become a conviction. For some, this may be instantaneous. For others, it may require more persistence. The key is to continue in your assumption until it feels natural to you, until it becomes your predominant state of consciousness. Remember the words of Scripture: though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. The manifestation of your desire has its own appointed hour. It may come in a day, a week, a month, or longer. But come it must, for that is the law. As surely as a planted seed must grow and express itself, so must your assumption express itself in your physical reality. The God that is about to surprise you with life-changing miracles is not bound by human concepts of time or possibility. My ways are not your ways, says the Lord. The fulfillment of your desire may come through channels that you have not even considered, in ways so perfect that they could only be arranged by divine intelligence. I recall a woman who desired to be reunited with a family member from whom she had been estranged for many years. She did not know this person's whereabouts and had no means of establishing contact. From a rational perspective, the situation seemed hopeless. But she began to engage in conversations with this family member, feeling the joy and love of their reconciliation as though it had already occurred. She persisted in this assumption for several months, never concerning herself with how the reunion would take place. Then, through a series of what appeared to be coincidences, but which were in fact the working out of the law, she discovered that this family member was living in a city she was planning to visit for a completely unrelated reason. Their paths crossed in a way that seemed entirely accidental, but was in truth the fulfillment of her assumption. Their reunion was everything she had imagined it to be, and more. The God within her, her own wonderful human imagination, had surprised her with a miracle that transformed not only her life, but the life of her family member as well. This is what I mean when I say that life-changing miracles are coming to you. Your consciousness, properly directed, is drawing to you all that is necessary for the fulfillment of your desires. But you must do your part. You must assume the state of consciousness that would be yours if your desires were already fulfilled. You must live from the end, not for the end. Living from the end means that you mentally dwell in the state of your wish fulfilled, looking back on your previous problems rather than looking forward to their solution. Instead of saying, I will be wealthy, say, I am wealthy. Instead of saying, I will be healthy, say, I am healthy. Feel the reality of these statements in the present moment. This is not lying to yourself. It is aligning yourself with a deeper truth. The truth that everything you can imagine already exists in potential and can be brought into manifestation through your assumption of its reality. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you require this shift in consciousness. They require you to die to your old concept of yourself and be reborn to a new concept. Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. This rebirth is not a physical but psychological one, a transformation of your self-concept. Let me clarify something that is often misunderstood. When I speak of assuming that your desire is already fulfilled, I am not suggesting that you deny the evidence of your senses or pretend that external conditions are different from what they appear to be. Rather, I am inviting you to recognize a deeper truth, that external conditions are reflections of internal states, and by changing the internal state, you inevitably change the external reflection. It is not necessary to deny present limitations. It is only necessary to shift your attention from them to the state you desire to express. Turn ye, not to the right hand nor to the left, says Scripture. Keep your focus on your assumption, neither denying present reality nor being hypnotized by it. Present reality is simply the harvest of past assumptions. By changing your assumptions now, you are planting the seeds for a different harvest. The God that is about to surprise you with life-changing miracles responds to your dominant feeling, your dominant state of consciousness. If you dwell in states of lack, limitation, or fear, then these will be reflected back to you in your external circumstances. But if you dwell in states of abundance, freedom, and love, then these will become your experience. This law is impersonal. It does not judge whether your desires are good or bad, worthy or unworthy. It simply brings into manifestation the state that you assume to be true. This is why it is so important to be deliberate about the states you occupy, to choose consciously rather than to be driven by habit or external circumstances. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you are the natural result of your deliberate choice to occupy higher states of consciousness. They are not rewards for good behavior or answers to petitionary prayer. They are the expressions of an immutable law that operates with mathematical precision. As within, so without. As above, so below. Now I want to address those of you who may be experiencing challenges in applying this law. Perhaps you have tried to assume the state of your wish fulfilled, but you find your old assumptions, your habitual ways of thinking and feeling, reasserting themselves. This is natural. The mind, like water, tends to return to its accustomed level. The key is persistence. Each time you find yourself slipping back into old patterns, gently but firmly return to your new assumption. Do not berate yourself for these lapses. Simply recognize them and choose again. It is through this constant choosing, this continual return to the state of your wish fulfilled, that you build the new habit of thought and feeling that will transform your life. Remember the words of Scripture, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." This transformation is not an event but a process. It is the gradual but certain shifting of your center of gravity from one state of consciousness to another. And as this shift occurs, the external conditions of your life must change to reflect your new internal reality. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you are already in process. They are taking shape according to the pattern of your assumptions. Even now, the circumstances and events that will surprise and delight you are being arranged, drawn to you by the magnetic power of your consciousness. Some of you may be wondering about specific techniques for impressing your desires upon your subconscious mind. While the principle remains the same, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. There are various methods that can assist you in this process. One powerful technique is what I call the state akin to sleep. This is the drowsy, relaxed state that precedes sleep, where the conscious mind is less active and the subconscious is more receptive to impression. In this state, imagine scenes that imply the fulfillment of your desire. Feel their reality. Fall asleep in this feeling, allowing it to sink deep into your subconscious mind during the hours of sleep. Another technique is the use of inner dialogue or self-talk. The conversations you have with yourself and the statements you make in your mind are powerful assumptions that shape your reality. Construct inner dialogues that imply the fulfillment of your desire. Hear yourself and others discussing your good fortune, your success, your happiness, or whatever it is that you desire to experience. Affirmative prayer is yet another approach. Unlike petitionary prayer, which asks for something to be given in the future, affirmative prayer gives thanks for the fulfillment of desire as though it had already occurred. Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, said Jesus at the tomb of Lazarus before Lazarus had risen. This is the secret of effective prayer, thanksgiving in advance. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you can be accelerated through these techniques. But remember, the techniques themselves are not the power. The power is consciousness, imagination, God within you. The techniques are simply aids to help you assume and maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now I want to address a question that often arises. What about the desires of others? What if what you want conflicts with what someone else wants? Let me be clear. There is no competition in consciousness. There is no shortage of good, no limitation to what can be manifested. The fulfillment of your desire does not require the deprivation of another. In fact, when you understand this law correctly, you will see that the best way to secure your own good is to desire and imagine the good of others. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you is not merely ethical advice, it is a statement of cosmic law. What you assume for others tends to be reflected back to you. If you habitually imagine the best for others, you are simultaneously creating channels through which good can flow to you. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you include not only the fulfillment of your personal desires, but also the joy of seeing those you love prosper and thrive. As you elevate your own consciousness to states of abundance, love, and fulfillment, you automatically lift those around you, for we are all connected in the one divine consciousness. Let me share with you a story that illustrates this principle. I knew a teacher who worked in a school with a student who was considered troubled and difficult. This student was disruptive in class, disrespectful to teachers, and failing academically. The conventional approach would be to discipline the student, to focus on correcting the undesirable behavior. But this teacher understood the law. Instead of focusing on the student's faults, she began to imagine him as respectful, engaged, and successful. When she looked at him, she did not see the troubled student that others saw. She saw the ideal that she held in her imagination. She persisted in this assumption despite all evidence to the contrary. Within weeks, the student's behavior began to change. He became more cooperative, more engaged in his studies. His grades improved dramatically. By the end of the term, he was one of the best students in the class. The teacher had not changed the student through external means. She had changed him by changing her concept of him. This is the power that is available to each of you. You can transform your relationships, your circumstances, your entire life by changing your assumptions. The God within you, your own wonderful human imagination will surprise you with miracles of transformation that extend far beyond your personal experience to touch the lives of all those with whom you interact. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you include a new understanding of your own divine nature and potential. As you apply this law and see its results in your life, you will come to know experientially what has been taught by the great spiritual traditions throughout history, that you are not separate from divine power, but are an individualized expression of it. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? This is not metaphorical language, it is a statement of literal truth. Your consciousness is God consciousness, individualized and focused at your particular center of awareness. As you align your individual will with the divine will, which is the will to express life, love, beauty, and abundance, you become a more perfect channel for the expression of divinity in the world. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you are expressions of your own divine nature, manifesting in ways that will astonish and delight you. They are not interventions from an external deity, but the natural flowering of the seed of divinity within you. Now let us consider practical application of this law in an area that concerns many people, financial prosperity. Many of you desire greater abundance, not out of greed, but from a desire to more fully express your gifts and to provide more adequately for those you love. How do you apply the law to manifest this desire? First, clarify in your mind exactly what you want. Be specific about the amount of money or the financial circumstances that would satisfy you. Then, ask yourself, how would I feel if this were already my reality? What would my typical day be like? What thoughts would I think? What emotions would I experience? Now begin to live from that state. In your imagination, be the person who has already achieved this financial status. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy of having your desire fulfilled. Pay particular attention to the relief that comes from knowing that all your financial needs are met abundantly. As you fall asleep at night, construct a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Perhaps it is a scene of you looking at your bank statement and seeing the desired amount. Perhaps it is a conversation with a friend in which you discuss your financial good fortune. Make the scene as vivid and as real as you can, and fall asleep in the feeling of its reality. During your waking hours, whenever thoughts of financial lack or limitation arise, gently return to your assumption of abundance. Do not fight against the negative thoughts, simply replace them with your chosen assumption. Remember, what you resist persists. What you accept and then replace is transformed. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you include financial surprises, unexpected income opportunities, ideas for creating wealth, solutions to financial problems that will arrive in ways you cannot now. Your role is not to figure out how these miracles will come, but to maintain your assumption of abundance until it manifests in your experience. Before proceeding further, I want to emphasize an important truth. The outer world is dead. It has no causative power. It is purely effect, never cause. The only creative power is consciousness, your consciousness. I am the vine, ye are the branches. A branch cannot bear fruit of itself, it must remain in the vine. This I am is your true identity, the creative center of your being. When you say I am, you are proclaiming your divine nature. What follows that I am determines the direction of your life. I am poor, I am unworthy, I am unlucky. These are misuses of your creative power. I am wealthy, I am worthy, I am fortunate. These direct your power toward positive manifestation. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you begin with a reformation of your self-talk, your habitual I am statements. Be vigilant about what you attach to I am, for you are literally defining yourself and your experience through these distillations. This brings us to another crucial aspect of the law of detachment. Many people, in their eagerness to see their desires fulfilled, become anxious and doubtful when manifestation does not occur according to their timetable. This anxiety and doubt are assumptions of failure or delay, and these will manifest just as surely as assumptions of success. The key is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and then to release it, trusting in the perfect working of the law. Having done all, stand. Do not keep checking for results, digging up the seed to see if it is growing. Your desire, once clearly defined and impressed upon your subconscious mind through the feeling of its fulfillment, is on its way to manifestation. Trust the process. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you require this trust, this letting go. Paradoxically, it is in releasing your attachment to outcomes that you allow them to manifest most quickly and perfectly. Thy will be done is not a statement of resignation, but of alignment with the highest creative force, the will of God, which is your own truth, will when you are aligned with your divine nature. This brings us to the concept of divine timing. Sometimes what appears to be a delay in the manifestation of your desire is actually perfect timing. The bridge of incidents that leads to the fulfillment of your desire may require certain elements to be in place, certain people to be available, certain conditions to be met. The law is infallible, but it works within the framework of natural processes. I knew a woman who desired a specific job at a particular company. She applied for the position but was told that it had already been filled. Rather than accepting this as final, she continued to assume that the job was hers. She imagined herself working at the company, enjoying the responsibilities, receiving the salary. She lived in this assumption despite all external evidence to the contrary. 3 months later, she received a call from the company. The person who had been hired for the position had unexpectedly resigned, and they wanted to know if she was still interested. Not only did she get the job, but they offered her a higher salary than had originally been advertised. The God within her, her own wonderful human imagination, had surprised her with a miracle that exceeded her expectations. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you may also exceed your expectations. The Lord does not limit you to what you can imagine, it can bring you exceedingly abundantly above all that you ask or think. Your conscious desire sets the direction, but the infinite intelligence of your deeper mind, your divine nature, may fulfill that desire in ways far more wonderful than you have conceived. Now let us address another important aspect of the law of the role of action. Some people believe that once they have clearly imagined and felt the reality of desire, they need do nothing but wait for it to manifest. Others believe that they must take continuous action, striving and struggling to achieve their goals. Both of these extremes misunderstand the true nature of the law. Effective action springs naturally from your state of consciousness. When you have truly assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will be moved to take whatever actions are appropriate to the manifestation of your desire. These actions will not feel like strain or struggle. They will feel natural and enjoyable. You will find yourself doing the right thing at the right time without excessive analysis or effort. This is what Scripture means by the Spirit of the Lord moved him. It is your new state of consciousness, your assumption, that moves you to the right action. You do not need to plan every detail. You need only maintain your assumption, and the appropriate avenues of expression will open before you. The life-changing miracles that are coming to include a new experience of action, action that is inspired rather than forced, action that is the expression of your being rather than an attempt to become. This is the true meaning of efforts to success. Not that you do nothing, but that what you do flows naturally from who you have become in consciousness. Let me emphasize again, the law we are discussing is not theoretical. It is practical and demonstrable. I have seen it work in my own life and in the lives of countless others who have applied it. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you are not wishful thinking. They are the predictable result of your application of an immutable principle. But this principle requires your cooperation. It requires you to be vigilant about your mental and emotional states, to consciously choose the assumptions that align with your desires rather than defaulting to habitual patterns of thought and feeling. It requires you to persist in your new assumption until it becomes your predominant state of consciousness. The Bible tells us, be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only. The word is your assumption, your concept of yourself and your world. To be a doer of the word is to consistently embody the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desire. It is to live from your assumption until it becomes your reality. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you are the natural fruit of your consistent application of this principle. As you sow in consciousness, so shall you reap in experience. This is the law and the prophets. Now, I want to address those of you who have specific health concerns. The same principle applies to the manifestation of physical well-being as to any other desire. Your body is a reflection of your consciousness. By changing your concept of yourself from one of illness or limitation to one of vitality and wholeness, you set in motion the forces that will transform your physical condition. Again, I am not suggesting that you ignore medical advice or that imagination alone can cure all physical conditions. The law works within the framework of nature and often employs natural means to accomplish its ends. But I am saying that your assumptions about your health have a profound influence on your physical state. And by changing these assumptions, you can facilitate healing and restoration. Imagine yourself as vibrantly healthy. Feel the energy, the strength, the freedom from pain or limitation that would be yours if your body were functioning perfectly. Give thanks for this state as though it were already manifest. When symptoms or medical diagnosis suggest otherwise, acknowledge them but do not give them power. Return to your assumption of health, knowing that as you persist in this assumption, your body must respond accordingly. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you include transformations in your physical condition that may well astonish your physicians. The creative power of consciousness extends to every cell of your body, reorganizing matter in accordance with your dominant assumptions. Let us now consider relationships. Many of you desire more loving, harmonious, fulfilling relationships, whether with a romantic partner, family members, friends, or colleagues. How do you apply the law to manifest this desire? The key is to assume the feeling of the relationship you desire. How would you feel if you're already experiencing the love, the respect, the appreciation that you seek? What would your thoughts be? How would you carry yourself? What kind of conversations would you have? Enter into this state in your imagination. Feel the reality of being loved, appreciated, respected. When you interact with the person or people involved, see them not as they have been in your experience, but as they would be in your fulfilled desire. Remember, everyone in your life is yourself pushed out, a reflection of your consciousness. By changing your concept of them, you change the reflection. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you include transformations in your relationships that may seem miraculous. People who have been difficult may suddenly become cooperative. Situations that have been tense may unexpectedly resolve themselves. New relationships may enter your life that embody exactly the qualities you have been imagining. This principle also applies to those who desire a specific relationship with a specific person. While it is true that every person has free will, it is also true that your consciousness influences your entire world, including the people in it. By assuming that the person you desire returns your feelings, you are not violating their free will. You are creating a state of consciousness in which they freely choose to respond to you in the way that you desire. This is not manipulation. It is the operation of a cosmic law. Draw nigh to God, and He will draw nigh to you. As you assume the state of consciousness in which your desire is fulfilled, you draw to yourself all that is necessary for its manifestation, including the free cooperation of others. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you include relationships that fulfill your deepest needs for love, companionship, and mutual respect. These relationships will come not through coercion or manipulation, but through the natural magnetism of your transformed consciousness. Now I want to address a common misconception. The idea that certain desires are too big, too ambitious, or too unlikely to be realized through this law. Let me be absolutely clear. There is no limit to what can be accomplished through the proper application of the law of assumption. All things are possible to him that believeth. The only limitations are those you accept in your own consciousness. If you can conceive it, you can achieve it, provided that you can assume the feeling of its reality and persist in that assumption until it hardens into fact. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you transcend what conventional thinking would consider possible. They are limited only by the scope of your imagination and the intensity of your faith. Faith in this context does not mean belief in something unseen. It means fidelity to your assumption, loyalty to the state you have chosen to occupy in consciousness. It means persisting in that state, despite all contradictory evidence, knowing that the external must eventually conform to the internal. The life-changing miracles that are coming to you require this kind of faith, not wishful thinking, not desperate hoping, but calm, confident knowing. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your persistent assumption is the substance from which your desire will be fashioned in the world of form. As our time together this evening draws to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The God that is about to surprise you with life-changing miracles is not a distant deity in the skies. It is not a power separate from yourself that must be petitioned or pleased. It is the divine principle within you, your own wonderful human imagination. This God, this I am, is your very being, your consciousness, your awareness. It is the only creative power in the universe, and it resides within you as your true identity. All things were made by it, and without it was not anything made that was made. Imagine, if you will, that your imagination is not just a fleeting fancy, but the very workshop of God. Yes, you heard me correctly. Your imagination, that inner world of thoughts and images, is the creative power of the universe itself, individualizing you. This is not hyperbole, my friends, but the fundamental truth of existence. In the next hour, you have the power to completely revolutionize your life. How, you may ask? by understanding and applying the law of assumption. This law states that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner assumptions. What you believe to be true, what you accept as real in your imagination, must and will manifest in your physical reality. Now let us delve deeper into this concept. Your conscious mind may rebel against this idea, citing past experiences, current circumstances, or logical arguments as to why this cannot be true. But I tell you with absolute certainty that your subconscious mind knows no limits. It does not argue, it does not question, it simply accepts and manifests. Think of your desire, that which you wish to experience in your life. It matters not whether it is wealth, love, health, or success. Whatever it may be, know this, it already exists in the infinite realm of possibility. Your task in this crucial hour is to bring it into your experience through the power of assumption. But how does one assume? It is simpler than you might think, yet it requires a shift in consciousness that many find challenging at first. To assume a state, you must think from it, not of it. Let me explain the distinction, for it is vital to your success. When you think of a desire, you acknowledge its absence in your life. You see it as something separate from you, something to be attained. But when you think from a desire fulfilled, you embody the state of its realization. You live, move, and have your being as if it were already a fact in your world. Consider a man who desires financial abundance. If he thinks of wealth, he may say to himself, I want to be rich. I need more money. In doing so, he affirms his current state of lack. But if he thinks that, he embodies the consciousness of a wealthy individual. He feels the satisfaction, the security, the freedom that wealth brings. He does not wish for it. He knows it as his current reality. This, my dear friends, is the crux of the matter. In the next hour, I challenge you to assume the state of your desire fulfilled. Feel it, live it, breathe it, as if it were already yours. For in truth it is in the realm of imagination, which is the very substance of reality. Now some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? And to this I say, your physical senses show you only a shadow of reality. The true substance of things is not in their physical form, but in the consciousness that gives rise to them. Remember the words of Scripture. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith, your assumption, is the very substance of your desire. It is the evidence that precedes physical manifestation. In this next hour, I urge you to enter the silence of your own being. Close your eyes to the world of shadows and open your inner eye to the reality of your imagination. See yourself as you wish to be. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of your desire realized. Do not concern yourself with the how or the when. These belong to the realm of manifestation, which follows the law unfailingly. Your part is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live in the end as if it were already accomplished. Let me share with you a technique that you can use in this transformative hour. It is called the pruning shears of revision. Just as a gardener prunes a tree to promote healthy growth, you can revise your day, your week, or even your entire life to align with your desired reality. Here's how it works. Before you sleep tonight, review the events of your day. But instead of accepting them as they appear to your physical senses, revise them in your imagination to match your desire. If you had an unpleasant interaction, reimagine it as harmonious. If you faced a financial setback, see it as an unexpected windfall. This is not denial or escapism. It is the highest form of creativity, for you are literally rewriting the script of your life. Remember, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the physical world. As you engage in this practice, you may find that doubts arise. Your rational mind may interject with reasons why your desire cannot be fulfilled. Do not fight these thoughts, for what you resist persists. Instead, gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let the peace and satisfaction of that state wash over you, dissolving all doubts and fears. In this 1 hour, you have the power to set in motion forces that will reshape your entire existence. But understand this, the law of assumption is not a one-time event. It is a way of life, a continuous state of being. You must persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact. Think of it as planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check its progress. You water it, you provide the right conditions, and you trust in the natural process of growth. Similarly, once you have planted the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, you must nurture it with consistent assumption and unwavering faith. Now let me address a common misconception. Some believe that this teaching encourages passivity, that by simply imagining, one need not take action in the physical world. Nothing could be further from the truth. Action will follow naturally from your changed consciousness, but it will be inspired action led by an inner knowing rather than the frantic doing that stems from a sense of lack or fear. As you assume the state your wish fulfilled, you will find that opportunities present themselves, doors open that were previously closed, and synchronicities occur that seem almost miraculous. This is the law in action, rearranging the circumstances of your life to match your inner assumption. But remember, the outer world may not change instantly. There is often a time lag between your inner assumption and its outer manifestation. This is what I call the interval of time. During this period, you must hold fast to your assumption, regardless of appearances. This is where many falter. They assume the state of their desire, but when they do not see immediate results, they revert to their old patterns of thinking. But I tell you, the law is infallible. What you persist in assuming must manifest. It is not a question of if, but when. In this transformative hour, I urge you to be bold in your imagining. Do not limit yourself based on what seems probable or possible, according to your current circumstances. Remember, you are not bound by your past or by the opinions of others. You are bound only by your own assumptions. Dare to assume greatness for yourself. Dare to imagine a life so wonderful, so fulfilling, that it takes your breath away. For you are not a mere mortal struggling in a world of chance and circumstance. You are a divine being endowed with the creative power of the universe itself. As we near the end of this crucial hour, I want you to understand the profound responsibility that comes with this knowledge. For if your imagination creates reality, then you are the author of your life story. Every experience, every relationship, every circumstance in your world is a reflection of your inner assumptions. This may seem a heavy burden at first, but in truth it is the key to your liberation. For if you have created your current reality through your assumptions, then you have the power to create anew. You are not a victim of circumstances, but the master of your fate. In the remaining minutes of this hour, I invite you to make a decision. Will you continue to live at the mercy of your habitual thinking, accepting whatever life seems to hand you? Or will you take up the mantle of your divine creativity and consciously shape your world through the power of assumption? The choice is yours and the time is now. Do not postpone your good, waiting for some future moment when conditions seem more favorable. The only moment of creation is the eternal now. In this very instant, you can assume a new state of consciousness that will transform your entire existence. As we conclude this transformative hour, I want to leave you with a final thought. The practice I have shared with you today is not a mere technique or a clever psychological trick. It is the very essence of creation, the modus operandi of the universe itself. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the creative power that brings worlds into being. You are claiming your birthright as a co-creator with the divine. This is not arrogance or hubris. It is the recognition of your true nature. So go forth from this hour with a new understanding of your own power. Let every thought, every feeling, every inner conversation be a conscious act of creation. Assume the best for yourself and for others. For as you lift yourself to higher levels of consciousness, you lift the entire world with you. Remember, the law is absolute. What you assume, you become. There are no limitations to what you can be, do, or have, except those you accept in your own imagination. So dream big, assume boldly, and watch as the universe moves to fulfill your desires. In closing, I remind you once again, this will work for you. Not in some distant future, not after years of struggle and effort, but right now, in this very hour. The power is within you, waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it now. For in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but contribute to the transformation of the entire world. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine brightly, illuminating the path for all who seek a better way. Go now and create the life you desire. Assume the best, expect miracles, and live on the state of your wish fulfilled. The world is waiting for you to realize your divine potential. This is your moment. Seize it with both hands and never let go. For in this 1 hour, you have been given the key to unlocking the infinite potential that lies within you. Use it well, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. Remember, this is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. Each day, each hour, each moment is an opportunity to realign your consciousness with your desires. Be vigilant in your mental diet, feeding your mind with thoughts and images that support your assumptions. As you go about your day, carry with you the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let it infuse every action, every interaction. Speak, think, and act from the state of one who already has what they desire. This self-pretense or deception, it is the highest form of truth. For you are claiming the reality that already exists in the realm of infinite possibility. In the face of contrary evidence, stand firm in your assumption. The outer world may not yield immediately to your new state of consciousness, but yield it must, for it has no choice. It is the shadow, and you are the light that casts it. Change the light, and the shadow must change accordingly. Be patient with yourself and with the process. Rome was not built in a day, and neither is a new self-concept. There may be moments of doubt, moments when the old patterns of thinking try to reassert themselves. When this happens, gently but firmly return to your assumption. Remember, what you persist in assuming persists in manifesting. As you continue this practice, you will find that your entire perception of reality begins to shift. What once seemed impossible becomes probable, and what was probable becomes certain. You will start to see opportunities where before you saw only obstacles. You will attract people and circumstances that align with your new state of being. This is the law of attraction in action. But understand that you are not attracting things to you from the outside. Rather, you are awakening to the reality that already exists within you. The outer world is merely conforming to your inner assumptions. In this light, consider every experience in your life as a gift, a reflection of your consciousness to be embraced and, if necessary, revised. Even seeming setbacks or challenges are opportunities for growth and realignment. They are showing you where your assumptions may still need adjustment. As you master this practice, you will find that your creative power extends beyond your personal life. You have the ability to assume the best for others as well. See your loved ones as they wish to be seen. Assume the best for your community, your nation, your world. For as you lift your own consciousness, you contribute to the elevation of collective consciousness. Remember, you are not separate from the world around you. You are an integral part of it, a unique expression of the divine creative power. As you assume states of greater harmony, abundance, and love for yourself, you make these states more accessible to all. In this 1 hour, you have been given a tool of immense power. Use it responsibly, use it lovingly, and use it consistently. The results may not always be immediate, but they are inevitable, for you are working with the very substance of creation itself. As we come to the close of this transformative hour, I urge you to take a moment to reflect on what you have learned. Feel the enormity of the power that resides within you. Embrace the responsibility that comes with this knowledge. And most importantly, put it into practice immediately. Do not wait for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances. The perfect moment is now, and the ideal circumstance is your current awareness of your creative power. Begin now to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Feel the reality of it. Live from that state, and watch as your world transforms around you. Remember, this practice is not about forcing or manipulating external reality. It is about aligning your consciousness with the truth of your being. As you do so, you will find that life begins to flow with greater ease and grace. Synchronicities will abound, and what once seemed like obstacles reveal themselves as stepping stones to your desired reality. In the days and weeks to come, be vigilant in your practice. Guard your mind against negative assumptions and limiting beliefs. Cultivate a mental atmosphere of expectancy and wonder. Look for evidence of your assumption manifesting in your world and give thanks for it, even before it appears in physical form. For gratitude is a powerful amplifier of your creative energy. When you give thanks for your desire as if it were already fulfilled, you align yourself even more powerfully with its manifestation. Gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity, opening you to the good that is already yours. As you go forth from this hour, know that you carry within you the power to reshape your entire existence. You are not a helpless victim of circumstance, but a divine creator, molding the substance of the universe with your assumptions and beliefs. Use this power wisely. Use it to create a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment, not only for yourself, but for all those whose lives you touch. For as you elevate your own consciousness, you elevate the consciousness of the entire world. In closing, I remind you once again, this will work for you. It is working for you right now, in this very moment. Your assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled is already in motion, already reshaping the circumstances of your life to match your inner vision. Trust in this process. Have faith in your own divine nature, and above all, persist in your assumption. For what you persist in assuming must inevitably manifest in your world. Go now and create the life you desire. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. For in this 1 hour, you have been given the key to unlocking the infinite potential that lies within you. Use it well and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. This is your moment. Seize it with both hands and never let go. For you are the author of your life story, the creator of your reality. Write a story of greatness, of love, of abundance. Assume the best for yourself and for all of humanity. And as you do, know that you are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing the infinite. This is the promise and the potential of this one transformative hour. The seeds have been planted. Nurture them with your unwavering assumption, water them with your faith, and watch as they blossom into the magnificent reality of your choosing. The power is yours. The time is now. Go forth and create miracles. The world you see around you is not the cause of your experience, but the effect. It is the outpicturing of your inner states of consciousness. Every circumstance, every person, every experience in your life is a reflection of your own thoughts and beliefs. When you grasp this fundamental truth, you realize that the repayment you seek is not about receiving something from an external source. It is about shifting your consciousness to a state where what you desire already exists. For in truth, nothing is ever lost. It simply exists in a state that you are not currently occupying. Consider for a moment, have you ever misplaced an object in your home, only to find it later exactly where it should have been? The object was never lost. It was always there. You simply weren't occupying the state of consciousness where you were aware of its location. The same principle applies to everything you believe you have lost in life. Now you might be wondering, but Neville, how can I shift my consciousness to a state where I have what I thought was lost? This is an excellent question, and it brings us to the heart of our discussion. The key lies in your wonderful human imagination. Your imagination is not mere fantasy or daydreaming. It is God in action within you. It is the creative power through which all things are made. When you imagine, you are literally reshaping the substance of the universe. To receive repayment for what you thought was lost, you must use your imagination to occupy the state where you already have it. You must feel the reality of it, experience the joy of it, live from the assumption that it is already yours. This is not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It is about aligning yourself with the truth of your desire at the level of cause. For remember, your outer world is simply a reflection of your inner states. As you change within, your outer world has no choice but to conform. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, how can I imagine having something when my current reality shows me its absence? This, my dear friends, is where faith comes in, but not blind faith. Faith based on understanding the law. You see, your physical reality is nothing more than the outpicturing of your past assumptions. It is the harvest of seeds you have previously sown in your consciousness. To change your reality, to receive repayment for what you thought was lost, you must plant new seeds. You must assume a new state of being. When you imagine having what you desire, when you feel the reality of it, you are planting these new seeds. You are assuming the state of one who already has what they desire. And as you persist in this state, your outer world has no choice but to conform to this new inner conviction. This is the true meaning of the biblical phrase, ask and it shall be given you. It is not a plea to an external deity. It is a reminder of your own divine creative power. When you ask, you are declaring your desire as an accomplished fact to your own subconscious mind, which is one with the universal mind. Now let us address a common misconception. Many believe that to manifest their desires, to receive repayment for what they thought was lost, they must visualize every detail of how it will come to pass. But I tell you now, this is not necessary and can even be counterproductive. Your job is not to figure out the how. Your job is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The infinite intelligence of the universe will take care of the how in ways far beyond what your limited conscious mind can conceive. Think of it like this. When you order something online, you don't concern yourself with the logistics of how it will be delivered. You simply place the order and trust that it will arrive. The same principle applies when you seek repayment from the universe. You place your order with the cosmic catalog, so to speak, and then you let go and trust in its delivery. This brings us to another crucial point, the importance of letting go. After you have assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, after you have planted the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, you must release it. You must fall asleep to the desire, confident in its fulfillment. This letting go is not indifference. It is supreme confidence. It is the knowing that your desire is already yours in the realm of imagination, which is the very substance of reality. As you sleep in this assumption, your subconscious mind goes to work, aligning all the necessary forces to bring about the manifestation of your desire. Now let us explore the concept of revision in relation to receiving repayment for what you thought was lost. Revision is the art of reimagining past events in a way that aligns with your desired reality. This is crucial because your subconscious mind draws upon your memories to create your current experience. When you revise your past, you are literally rewriting the script of your life. You are creating a past that naturally leads to your desired present and future. Instead of dwelling on loss, revise those experiences. See them as stepping stones, as necessary parts of your journey that led you to this moment of revelation and repayment. This practice of revision, combined with living in the state of your wish fulfilled, creates a powerful alignment in your consciousness. You are creating a new past, present, and future all at once, all aligned with the repayment you seek. Now, let us address the concept, everyone, as you pushed out. This principle states that everyone in your world is a reflection of your consciousness. The way people treat you, the opportunities that come your way, even the seemingly random events in your life, all are reflections of your state of being. When you shift your consciousness to a state of having received repayment for what you thought was lost, you naturally begin to see others differently. You see them as playing their perfect part in the divine unfolding of your desire. This shift in perception allows for miraculous changes in your relationships and circumstances. Let us now discuss the importance of gratitude in receiving repayment from the universe. Gratitude is not just a polite sentiment, it is a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire in your life. You are affirming its reality even before it manifests in the physical realm. As you seek repayment for what you thought was lost, cultivate a deep sense of gratitude. Be thankful not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen blessings that are even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the love that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. This gratitude aligns you with the frequency of your desire, speeding up its manifestation. It puts you in a state of receptivity, opening you to receive even greater blessings. Now, let us address the concept of the Sabbath. The Sabbath, in this context, is not about a particular day of the week, but about a state of mind. It is a state of complete rest from all effort, a state of knowing that your work is done. When you seek repayment from the universe, when you have assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, enter this Sabbath state. Rest in the certainty that your desire is fulfilled. In this state, you no longer feel the need to make your desire happen because you know it is already done. Let us explore the concept of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean not caring about your desire. It means releasing your anxious attachment to how or when it will manifest. When you are anxiously attached to an outcome, you are actually affirming the absence of your desire. True detachment comes from the deep knowing that your desire is already yours in consciousness, and therefore must manifest in your physical reality. It's a state of calm certainty, of knowing the Lord is at work, even when you can't see the evidence yet. Now let us discuss the power of your imagination once more. Your imagination is not mere fantasy or daydreaming. It is God in action within you. It is the creative power through which all things are made. When you seek repayment from the universe, use your imagination to its fullest potential. Imagine yourself having already received what you thought was lost. Feel the joy of it, the relief, the satisfaction. Live from that state, for in doing so, you are literally reshaping the substance of your reality. Let us address the importance of self-love in this process. Many people struggle to receive repayment from the universe because they don't believe they are worthy of it. But I tell you now, worthiness has nothing to do with it. You are worthy because you exist. You are God's creation, and God only creates perfection. Cultivate self-love as you seek repayment from the universe. Know that you are deserving of all good things simply because you are. This self-love creates a powerful foundation for manifesting your desires. Now let us explore the concept of the law of reversed effort. This law states that the harder you try to achieve something, the more you push it away. This is why letting go and trusting is so powerful. It allows you to align with the natural flow of creation without the interference of struggle or forced effort. Think of it like this: when you're learning to swim, if you thrash about frantically, you'll sink. But if you relax and trust the water to hold you up, you float effortlessly. The same principle applies to receiving repayment from the universe. Let us discuss the role of silence in this process. After you have done your imaginal work, after you have assumed the feeling of having received repayment for what you thought was lost, there comes time for silence. This silence is not just external, but internal. It is a cessation of all inner chatter about your desire. In this silence, you allow the seed of your desire to take root and grow. You do not dig it up repeatedly to check on its progress. You trust in the law, knowing that what is done in consciousness must manifest in reality. Now let us address the concept of living in the end once more. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are not hoping for something to happen in the future. You are experiencing your desire as a present fact. This state of living in the end collapses time and brings your desire into the present moment. Remember, in the realm of imagination, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of its fulfillment with conviction. The time it takes for this to appear in your physical reality is determined by your faith and your persistence in the assumed state. Let us explore the concept of the observer effect in quantum physics. In the quantum world, the act of observing something changes it. Your observation, your consciousness, affects the behavior of subatomic particles. This principle applies to your life as well. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are choosing to observe your reality from the perspective of already having received it. This observation literally shapes your reality at a quantum level, bringing your desire to manifestation. Now let us discuss the importance of feeling in this process. Feeling is the secret. It's not enough to intellectually know that repayment is possible, or even to visualize it clearly. You must feel the reality of it. When you seek repayment from the universe, allow yourself to fully feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude of having received it. These elevated emotions are the fuel that gives life to your manifestations. They align you with the frequency of your desire, speeding up its realization in your physical reality. Let us address the concept of resistance once more. Resistance is anything that blocks the flow of your desired reality into your experience. It often shows up as doubt, fear, or worry. When you seek repayment from the universe, release this resistance. Remember, what you resist persists. By letting go of resistance, you allow the natural flow of creation to bring about your desire effortlessly. Now, let us expand the quantum you. The quantum you is the version of you that exists in the field of all possibilities. It's the you that has already received repayment for everything you thought was lost. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are aligning yourself with this quantum version of you. Understand that you're not trying to become something you're not. You're aligning with a version of you that already exists in the quantum field. You're shifting your consciousness to match that reality. Let us discuss the power of your words once more. Your words are not just sounds or symbols. They're creative forces. They're declarations to the universe. When you seek repayment for what you thought was lost, your words must align with this desire. Speak as though you have already received your repayment. Use phrases that affirm the reality of your desire. Remember, your words are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe. Make sure you're planting seeds of what you want to grow in your life. Now, let us address the importance of patience in this process. Patience in this context is not passive waiting. It is active trust in the law. It is knowing that what is done in consciousness must manifest in reality, and allowing that manifestation to unfold in its perfect timing. When you seek repayment from the universe, cultivate this kind of active patience. Know that your desire is manifesting even if you can't see the evidence yet. Trust in the perfect unfolding of the universe. Let us explore the concept of the present moment once more. The present moment is your point of power. It's the only place where you can make changes, where you can choose your thoughts and emotions. When you seek repayment from the universe, anchor yourself in this present moment. Many people live their lives either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. But when you do this, you're not using your power to create. You're letting your past or your imagined future control your present. Seeking repayment from the universe brings you into alignment with the power of now. Now, let us discuss the role of forgiveness in receiving repayment from the universe. Holding on to resentment, anger, or blame keeps you energetically tied to past experiences. It keeps you vibrating at a lower frequency, attracting more experiences that match that lower energy. Forgiveness is not about condoning what happened or letting someone off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from the energetic burden of negative emotions. It's about choosing to vibrate at a higher frequency. As you seek repayment from the universe, practice forgiveness of others and of yourself. Let us address the concept of divine order. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are aligning yourself with divine order. You are recognizing that there is a perfect unfolding of events, even if you can't see it from your limited perspective. Trust in this divine order. Know that everything is happening for your highest good, and even when it doesn't appear that way on the surface. This trust allows you to remain calm and centered, even in the face of apparent setbacks or challenges. Now, let us explore the concept of allowing. Allowing is the opposite of forcing. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are in a state of allowing. You are opening yourself up to receive all the good that the universe has for you. Allowing doesn't mean being passive. It means being receptive. It means being open to possibilities beyond what your limited mind can conceive. It means trusting that the universe knows the best path to the fulfillment of your desires. Let us discuss the importance of self-awareness in this process. To truly receive repayment from the universe, you must be aware of your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. You must be able to catch yourself when you slip into doubt or anxiety, and consciously choose to return to a state of trust and knowing. Cultivate this self-awareness through practices like meditation, journaling, or simply taking time for quiet reflection. The more aware you are of your inner state, the more effectively you can maintain a state of alignment with your desire. Now let us address the concept of surrender. Surrender is often misunderstood as giving up or admitting defeat. But in the context of receiving repayment from the universe, surrender is a powerful act of alignment. It is surrendering your limited, egoic control to the infinite wisdom of the universe within you. When you surrender in this way, you are not becoming powerless. On the contrary, you are aligning yourself with the most powerful creative force in existence. You are allowing this force to work through you unimpeded by doubt, fear, or limited thinking. Let us explore the concept of faith once more. Faith is not blind belief. It is not hoping for the best while fearing the worst. True faith is a knowing beyond physical evidence. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are exercising this kind of faith. You are knowing the reality of your desire with such conviction that you no longer need physical proof. This unwavering faith moves mountains. It parts seas. It transforms the very fabric of your reality. Now let us discuss the importance of your self-concept in this process. Your self-concept is the sum total of your beliefs about who you are. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are adopting a self-concept of someone who is worthy and capable of receiving all good things. See yourself as a divine being, capable of creating any reality you desire. Know that you are not separate from the universe, but an individualized expression of it. This elevated self-concept naturally aligns you with the fulfillment of your desires. Let us address the concept of resistance once more. Resistance often arises when we try to control every aspect of our reality. When you seek repayment from the universe, release this resistance. Allow the infinite intelligence of the universe to work out the details of how your desire will manifest. Remember, your job is not to figure out the how. Your job is to hold the vision of your desire fulfilled and to maintain the feeling of its reality. The universe will take care of the how in ways far more wonderful than you could have imagined. Now, let us explore the concept of the law of attraction in relation to receiving repayment from the universe. The law of attraction states that like attracts like. When you align yourself with the energy of having already received repayment, you naturally raise your vibration. You align yourself with the frequency of desire. This elevated vibration attracts experiences, people, and circumstances that match it. You become a magnet for the fulfillment of your desires, effortlessly drawing to you what you need for their manifestation. Let us discuss the role of gratitude once more. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a state of being. When you seek repayment from the universe, you naturally enter a state of gratitude. You are grateful not just for what you have, but for what is coming. This state of gratitude is incredibly powerful. It aligns you with the abundance of the universe. It opens you to receive even more blessing. Practice gratitude not from a place of lack, hoping to receive, but from a place of fullness, knowing you already have. Now let us address the concept of divine timing once more. Often when we hold tightly to our desires, we create resistance to their natural unfolding. We try to force things to happen on our timeline. But the universe operates on its own divine timing, which is always perfect. When you seek repayment from the universe, align yourself with this divine timing. Release the need to control when or how your desire will manifest. Trust that it will come at the perfect time in the perfect way. Let us explore the concept of unity consciousness. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are recognizing your oneness with the universe. You are understanding that there is no separation between you and what you desire. It is already yours because you are one with all that is. This understanding of unity consciousness dissolves the illusion of lack. It aligns you with the infinite abundance of the universe. From this state of oneness, manifestation becomes effortless and natural. Now let us discuss the importance of detachment once more. Detachment is not indifference. It is not a lack of desire. Detachment is the state of knowing that your desire is already yours in consciousness. and therefore you do not need to anxiously pursue it in the physical world. When you are detached in this way, you are free from the fear of not getting what you want. You are free from the anxiety of when or how it will come. This freedom allows you to enjoy the present moment fully, while still holding the vision of your desire fulfilled. Let us address the concept of allowing once more. Allowing is the opposite of forcing. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are in a state of allowing. You are opening yourself up to receive all the good that the universe has for you. Allowing doesn't mean being passive. It means being receptive. It means being open to possibilities beyond what your limited mind can conceive. It means trusting that the universe knows the best path to the fulfillment of your desires. Now let us explore the concept of the mirror principle. This principle states that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are creating an inner state of abundance, fulfillment, and gratitude. This inner state will inevitably be reflected in your outer experiences. Understand that as you change your inner world, your outer world must change to match it. This is not wishful thinking. It is the operation of universal law. Let us discuss the role of patience once more. Patience in this context is not passive waiting. It is active trust in the law. It is knowing that what is done in consciousness must manifest in reality, and allowing that manifestation to unfold in its perfect timing. When you seek repayment from the universe, cultivate this kind of active patience. Know that your desire is manifesting, even if you can't see the evidence yet. Trust in the perfect unfolding of the universe. Now let us address the importance of self-love in this process once more. Self-love is not vanity or egotism. It is a recognition of your true worth as a divine being. When you truly love yourself, you naturally align with the fulfillment of your desires. As you seek repayment from the universe, cultivate deep self-love. Know that you are worthy of all that you desire, simply because you exist. This self-love creates a powerful foundation for manifesting your desires. Let us explore the concept of the quantum field once more. In quantum physics, we understand that everything is energy and possibility. Your desires already exist as potentials in this quantum field. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are aligning yourself with the version of reality where your desire is fulfilled. Understand that you are not creating something from nothing. You are selecting a reality from infinite possibilities. Your job is to align your consciousness with the reality you desire to experience. Now let us discuss the power of your focus. Where you place your attention is where you direct your energy. When you seek repayment from the universe, you are focusing on the reality of your desire fulfilled. You are directing your energy towards its manifestation. Be mindful of where you're placing your focus. Are you focusing on what you lack, on what's wrong in your life? Or are you focusing on the reality of your desire fulfilled? Remember, what you focus on expands. In conclusion, remember that the universe is about to repay you for everything you thought was lost. This repayment is not something external to you, but a shift in your consciousness. As you align with the state of having received this repayment, as you live from this assumption, you will find your outer world reshaping itself to match your inner state. Trust in the law. Have faith in your own divine nature. And above all, persist in the state of knowing that your desires are already fulfilled. For in doing so, you are exercising your divine creative power and shaping your reality according to your will. Go forth and create consciously, for the power is within you. The entire universe is at your command. You need only to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and allow your good to flow to you. And so it is.